Hello and welcome back to UNCUT XCOM 2 Alien Hunters featuring Shen's Last Gift. And speaking of Shen's Last Gift, I think we might have to do a return because it's not working the way it's supposed to. That was point blank and it missed. Very unfortunate. But we're doing a post-game recording right now because at the time I was recording this, my brain was very hot because I think it was 97 degrees at the time and it was very humid. It's not like the tropics level humidity, but it was like 89% humid. It was too much, and I stopped recording my voice. So we're gonna do a post game recording. It's all the same, more or less, but we're still in the Advent Blacksite, and we're making our way to the front door. There's just a lot of opposition. Taking a shot with the Shadowfall pistol, that trooper needs to go down. But the thing is, once again, all pods active has made this mission a little bit more difficult, but it actually speeds it up a bit, right? Because the Advent Blacksite missions usually take, my goodness, I love the animation on that pistol, but the Advent Blacksite missions usually take about an hour to an hour and 20 minutes sometimes. They're just really long missions because you kind of just go around, you trudge along, and you go really slow, inch by inch, and you activate one pod at a time. But with all pods active, you don't really have to worry about that. I already know that all the aliens are coming at my head, so I'm just like, yo, let's get to that front door as quickly as possible. So, we're slowly making our way there. There's a couple more aliens on the field that we got to deal with. But for now, we got a little bit of breathing room. We got a little bit of time to relax and kind of collect ourselves. And as you can hear, this traffic outside my window, as always. Now, I gotta be honest. When I killed the alien ruler, oh my goodness, a turret. It missed, thank goodness. But when I killed the alien ruler, the genuine excitement that was going through my body was so incredible. There are so few games that give me a true sense of joy in the same way XCOM does. And I'm not sure what it is exactly about XCOM that makes when you win, it feels really, really good. But then when you lose, you basically want to uninstall the game. It's just this weird balance that they have. Because when I killed that alien ruler, when I did the wombo combo, froze him with the ice, shot him up, got them dragon rounds on him, set him on fire. Felt so good. But, at the same time, if he would have killed my whole squad, you wouldn't be seeing this or hearing it right now, and I would have uninstalled. Now, I wouldn't have uninstalled, but I would have been pretty pissed off. And because I've been playing the Division a lot lately, and even with that, when you beat a really difficult mission, it's like, okay, we did it. Beat the mission, then you get your loot. But it's not the same as XCOM. Okay, so if you grew up, in the 80s and 90s, and you got to play Super Mario, Donkey Kong Country, Sonic the Hedgehog, the original one before he started, using guns and turning into werewolves and shit, then you can sort of relate to that feeling of triumph, like when you get out of a certain level that's just really hard. It just felt like, it felt something. It's an intangible feeling. We're talking about feelings. Whenever I do a post-game recording, I always talk about feelings. I don't know why. But we dealt with that turret pretty well, actually. I'm not paying too much attention to the game footage, which is probably a bad thing, but what are you going to do? We're actually just walking towards the door now, which is kind of boring, but that's fine. It's fine. But it's an intangible feeling with certain games when you play them and when you win that you just don't get with everything, and that's something that really makes a game good. And am I trying to sell XCOM to you? No, because I don't care. They're not paying me to say anything. If they were, I'd tell you, but they're not. They should, though. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? It would be. But either way, we did get a little glimpse of what's going on inside the black site. So we're going to actually have to be a little bit more cautious now that we do know that they're on the field. And we are getting a little cutscene here, but we're not. Search it up if you want to see all the XCOM cutscenes. But we're going to have to be careful about how we enter this room, because with the improved AI mod, Advent is going to be a lot less likely to just bull charge at me. So they're willing to shoot me from further away. So I'm gonna try and be as safe as possible with my approach. In other words, using full cover whenever possible, keeping people out of line of sight when that's an option. That's always a good thing. That's a nice little trick. If you actually want to move up on somebody but you're not ready to engage, put them out of line of sight. Put them behind a wall where they can't actually see the target and where the target can't see that. Because that's the thing. If you can't see them, they can't see you. That is probably one of the biggest tips for XCOM, unless you get a little bug where the enemy can shoot you through a wall. But you know, it's not a perfect game. Never said it was, but it's really good. It's really good. Yeah, so I'm giving that pro tip today. So that is sort of what I'm doing right now. I'm moving everybody up out of line of sight from any of the advent that are actually inside the facility. So I'm trying to get, because right now everybody's out of position. Like, what's his name? Oliver Jones is way too far back, so he can't really engage anyone. And the mech is it's just doing its own thing somewhere. But unfortunately, our mind is spinning right now. We're panicking, so that's kind of bad. The sectoid did end up having line of sight on that guy. But panic is way better than mind control. If that wound up being mind control, then I would have potentially been screwed. Because then I would have had to kill the sectoid, because I'm pretty sure I didn't bring a flashbang. Or maybe I already used it. I can't remember. Go figure. Either way, mind control is not fun. Even like early game, late game, doesn't matter. Mind control can fuck you over tremendously. But what else can fuck you? What's gonna screw that sectoid over is that incendiary grenade. He's going down. He's gonna burn to a crisp. It's gonna get real toasty. That's crispy sectoid. Probably tastes like a snake, if I'm honest, because they look slithery. I know there's actual snakes in this game. Well, they're vipers, but the sectoid looks like it's slithery. So I'm assuming it's gonna taste like a snake. I honestly wonder if the XCOM troops eat the aliens, like the snakes and maybe not the mutants, because they look like they taste like oysters or something. But the sectoids and the vipers. That's the question of the day. Would you, if you were an XCOM soldier and you killed a viper, they always bring the corpses back for research. Would you eat it after Dr. Tigan was finished analyzing it, and that burn did 3 damage, sectoid had 4 health remaining? That is bullshit. But would you eat the viper? Would you eat the viper? Would you eat a snake in real life? I don't know. I would try it. But unfortunately, my mech did actually get shot in that situation. The biggest downside to the mech is that it can't take cover. But I sort of want it to be the target of the enemies right now, because I do. It's this weird thing, right? This is where you get the Rise of the Machines type stuff. Is because I haven't played much with the Spark unit, but because it can't take cover, you can put it in situations where it's more likely to get shot in the chest. And it also gets affected by red fog, so that's a pretty bad thing. So it does have reduced accuracy now that it has taken some damage. But you put it in situations where it's more likely that the enemies are going to shoot at it, because they're like, hey, he's out of cover, let's fucking shoot him. But you know, this thing is like a sentient robot. I don't know if it's sentient or not, but this is how Rise of the Machines gets started. You put the robot in a dangerous situation, and it's like, hey, how come I don't get to take cover with you guys? And it's like, well, you're the robot. And the robot says, yeah, but I have feelings too. And you know what? I'm going to make a topical joke. Robot lives matter. Okay, I said it. I did it. But let's move on. My point is, the Spark unit, it can act like a tank in the sense that you can put it in positions where it's going to be vulnerable, to take some pressure off of your human soldiers. It's like, somebody's got to take the heat, and truthfully, I would rather it be the Spark, because I haven't built up an emotional connection to the Spark. We met Oliver Jones at the beginning of this on part A. Now we're in part B, but but we didn't meet the spark, and I don't know if we're ever gonna meet the spark. If you've made it to this point in the video and you'd like to be the name of the spark and give the spark some sort of identity, put it in the comments. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep sticking with the human soldiers. But yeah, like, I have no I have no emotional investment in the spark, and the Viper just spit some poison at it because apparently snakes are stupid and they think you can poison mechanical beings, and you can't. You can't poison mechanical beings. And here we go. We're getting another mind spin coming out. It is just going to disorient us, so that's going to reduce our accuracy. But it's not... Disorient is honestly the best outcome for mind spin, just because it's not critical, right? It's not mind control, which is the worst. Panic, it could be bad, but it's not horrible, right? If one guy is panicking, you still got... I've got 7 soldiers on the field right now because I'm not playing no games. All pods active is ridiculous. Alien Hunters is ridiculous, more ridiculous, and I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it. So one soldier panicking is not the worst outcome. So Oliver Jones taking that shot with that boltcaster, one of the coolest animations in the game, period. There's no debating that. That is a giant metal crossbow thing with a big lob of metal being shot at a snake. That's pretty badass if you ask me. But you know, this is actually going really well, all things considered. I think this is actually the last pod on the map currently. So as soon as we eliminate that stupid sectoid and that Viper, they're very dug in as well. And I want to say they're dug so far in as a result of the improved AI. But we're actually going to try and demolish his cover. So we're going to break that glass, and we're going to use the demolish ability. And it did, in fact, break the cover. And the reason we broke that cover is so we can get a clear shot with our other soldiers on an out-of-cover sectoid. But this guy is tough. He's not going down. He doesn't want to get crit. He's just, motherfucker, I'm still standing. I'm still standing. So I am going to end up having to take a shot with my disoriented soldier. And it's going to miss, just going to fire straight over his head. He did have a decent shot percentage, and because he is using this customized SMG, the Halo Reach weapons pack, I forgot the name of the mod, but it's in the description. That weapon, if you fire as your first action, you can take another action. So taking a shot as your first action only costs 1 action. It's a pretty cool thing, man. The mods for this game, man, fucking insane. You can really do a lot of crazy things with the mods in this game. You can make it feel so different from the vanilla experience, from the base game experience. Now, we are going to skip ahead just a little bit because we did in fact clear out all of the enemies, so we just had to go talk to the objective, and there was a lot of movement that I had to do before actually talking to the objective because I've played this so many times, I sort of know how this is going to go at this point. So after we touch this magical vial of juice of some sort, it looks like maybe applesauce or some sort of cream frige, or I'm not really sure what it is, but either way, as soon as we touch it, as you can see, the advent reinforcements are coming in. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to position ourselves in such a way that we can ambush them. And in the previous turn, I was making all of my soldiers, putting them in positions where they can actually ambush the advent reinforcements because I knew they were gonna come down. So I had what I did was, before I actually touched the vial, I positioned as many soldiers as I could in convenient spots before I got impatient and said, you know what, fuck it, let's just touch the vial and get it over with. So now we can post up some guys by the windows, get some people in full cover, you know, get some people outside while slowly, you know, going towards the evac point. Because I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I'm pretty sure advent reinforcements will come indefinitely on this mission, so you just have to kill them and then move closer to the evac, kill closer until you actually get there. So that's kind of interesting. I mean, like, there's little things like the nature of reinforcements that isn't super realistic, and there's actually a mod to fix that. There's this mod that allows gives the advent captains the ability to call reinforcements of their own. So what could happen is this new pod could come down, this new, like, here it comes, they could come down, it drops off like a captain and a stun lance or some shit, whatever. And what could happen is the advent captain could pull back and then call more reinforcements, with another Advent captain on another transport ship, and it just could just be endless Advent captains and stun lancers. Which I do not ever want to test out that mod, because XCOM is already frustrating enough, and my goodness, look at all the Overwatches triggering. We got one bruised. No, we only got one, and everyone else is just standing there perfectly, so that's pretty unfortunate. So we're gonna have to deal with 2 Advent soldiers in full cover. But yeah, I will never play with the Advent reinforcements mod. I say never, but I might one day, because there's still a lot more as far as the difficulty that I can do with XCOM, because this is a commander difficulty, which is the second highest difficulty. The final difficulty is legendary, and well, it's called legend, but I stray away from playing legend because it's just really difficult. And so we're gonna mark this guy up, and we're gonna take a shot at him. My goodness, Agent Alpha. I really love some of the Halo Reach weapons, the DMR. It's such a cool looking weapon. The sound effect is fantastic. The way it functions is so cool. I actually think it does a little bit more damage than the base assault rifle. It just makes everything so cool. I get so excited talking about XCOM, but you know, that wasn't very exciting because I missed. That's unfortunate, is what that is. But yeah, I've always strayed away from playing XCOM on the highest difficulties, for the simple fact that it is stressful. It makes your brain hurt when it just takes time to get into the rhythm of it, right? Because everything has more health. All of your research takes longer. Making contact with resistance places takes longer. Everything just takes longer, and it's more difficult. So that means you get less resources per month because you're able to contact less people per month. And it all spirals out of control, and it's insane. And if I'm honest, I don't want to deal with it. Now, Melissa Hayes, she gets shot the fuck up on every damn mission she goes on, and she's tough, man. She's a tough cookie, because she ain't scared of nothing. She ain't scared of nothing. She ain't been shaken up yet. She ain't been shooken. She ain't been shooken up yet. So, you know, I like her. I like Melissa Hayes. But anyway, so we're moving our mech, trying to get a slightly better shot on this guy, and it's not really gonna happen. He's behind a tree, and as you already know, trees in XCOM are the greatest cover in the universe. Now, Stun Lancers are debatably the most powerful unit in Advent's arsenal, and the reason is because even at the higher levels, oh look at that, we killed him, thank goodness. But even at the higher levels, when you start getting all the powered armor and the plasma weapons and everything, they can still run up to you and stab you in the chest and deal 10 plus damage if they crit. And looks like the next group of guys is coming down. But what is going to happen, though, is one of my soldiers is not going to be able to reach the evac point, so I'm going to have to end up fighting them. So what I'm doing now is I'm checking to make sure everyone can reach the evac point. And here we go. See, Melissa Hayes cannot, in fact, reach the evac point, so I can't leave with everybody until everybody's in a position where they can actually evac. So we're going to have to actually fight yet another pod. So right now you're seeing the struggles of the Advent Blacksite, but you know, this is the best that I've ever run through the Advent Blacksite, which probably means I've actually gotten better at this game. Finally, after 130, 40, 50 hours, I'm finally to a point where I can run through an Advent Blacksite without a single soldier dying. Spoiler alert, nobody's gonna die. But and it only took me, I think, 3 attempts. I did have to make multiple attempts at this, and the reason was because of the alien ruler. It was just absurd, and I kept playing it wrong. The alien ruler is not easy to take out with all pods active, and when you're on a mission with so many troops, because it's like this built-in timer. Because the alien ruler will get to you before the rest of your troops. Before the rest of the alien troops, so you have to kill him before Vipers and Captains and Stun Lancers start getting on the field and start doing work on you as well. So we are positioning ourselves for this next drop ship to come down. We're just pretty much gonna overwatch them and hopefully clear out the majority of them before shit gets crazy. And here they come. Their budgets are being cut, and there's some sort of program where they can't all come at the same time. And oh my gosh, they sent a mech this time. That is actually not good at all. But it's a mech versus mech battle once again. We're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see if Shen's last gift, the spark, is stronger than the Advent mech, and I'm gonna say it is. And this guy is running in the wrong damn direction. He is done for immediately. But you know what? Not the best Overwatch that could have happened. We only got one. I think I had somebody else on Overwatch. I may not have been paying attention. But either way, now we've got... This is actually pretty bad, because the mech, it's got 2 points of armor, and I'm pretty sure I've run out of grenades at this point. I know Melissa Hayes doesn't have any more grenades. But we've just got to eliminate a pretty beefy unit that could potentially wound up and screw over a lot of guys, right? Because the mechs always shoot micro missiles. And they're very annoying. I can't stand micro missiles, and damn, that's a 14 damage critical. That was overkill. That was overkill. It was a little bit brutal. I may have to censor that. I'm not gonna censor it, but that was brutal. Either way. But yeah, the mech is just the Advent mech is a unit that essentially just fucks you over whenever it comes out. But Oliver Jones shot him in the chest, and I think we're gonna end up screwing over the mech before the mech gets to screw us over. So that's a good thing. All right, you know, I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy with the way this is going. Cause I mean, it could have gone so wrong. Like you have to acknowledge that. It could have gone so much worse. Like the only time I reload from the start of a mission is if it goes completely wrong. Like if every mech is done, by the way. Like if everybody dies, then I start the mission over. But this is like I assumed going into this Blacksite that somebody was gonna get shot the fuck up. But you know what? Pretty much everybody made it out unscathed. You know, we took a lot of damage. I'll be honest. But ain't nobody dead, so we did pretty good. So at this point, we're just moving everybody to the evac point, and I will use this time to say I hope you are enjoying this playthrough of XCOM 2 Alien Hunters featuring Shen's Last Gift. I can definitely already tell that it's going better than my first and second playthrough of this game. You know, it's a learning experience, and look at this. Look how cool this looks. Oh my goodness, look at the squad. Look at the squad. Oliver Jones, Rob Blue, the agents, Melissa Hayes, and the Spark. Beautiful. But you know, it's a learning experience, and here at iBluairJgR Game for Comedy, we always try to learn from the previous series we do and make them better, always trying to get a little bit better, maybe a little bit funnier. It's a curse that we're iBluairJgR Game for Comedy, because I'm not that funny. Like, I'm kind of funny, but calling it gaming for comedy, that might be a stretch, you know what I'm saying? But either way, thank you for watching. We are all getting back to that Sky Ranger. Damn. How did he get in the thing? How did he get in the Sky Ranger like that? Ridiculous. Anyway, thank you for watching. The name of the game is XCOM 2. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Game for Comedy. We got an excellent rating. I will see you next time. Boom, baby, boom. I'm not going to say that all the time. I promise.